Mike's Diabetes World. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. Today I thought I will do a check-in with me. I usually choose a topic and go off and discuss my views, which aren't necessarily correct. But today we're going to discuss me. I'm not going to be one of these righteous people, oh God, the only way you're going to survive is if you follow me. But these are just my views on things I've learned in the past. They may not be correct, but just, my views. So, welcome to Today About Me. Okay, so what about me? What has happened this past, I don't know, I think it's been 3 weeks since I've sort of done this. Well, my blood sugars are still all over the place. I don't know why. They just are all over the place. Now, years ago, it was always, oh well, it was stress. But before that, it was me cheating. And, oh my God, you've cheated. So, what can you do when everyone just says you're cheating? Now, I've got to say, first of all, while I was a teenager, I had a few times, I really got sort of sick of everyone else would be able to eat this and do that, and I had to be also good. But a lot of times I wasn't necessarily sweet, but I would like to eat more. Like real food. Not real food, but then I would have a hamburger, or sometimes, and yes, it would raise my blood sugar. But when I started out back in 1977 with having diabetes, my blood sugars up and down were because, I was cheating all the time. That was the excuse I was given. And then, you must have stress in your life. And everyone sat down with the social worker, and yes, and how wonderful. And, all I did was, I had to have stress, and, stress constantly. Sorry, I just watched Nico for a second. And, sorry, the background here, that doesn't work either. And then when they decide, it's not stress. You have too little stress in your life, and it was really getting to be, Well, make up your friggin' mind. And then it was, oh well, you have to do something that's going to help you in later life. And you know what? Now, that turned out to be, sorry, I'm just trying to, a lot of garbage. I'm trying to get that with that. There, I think we're getting a little bit. And I gave up on that because if you didn't have stress, it was almost like, oh well, yeah, we're gonna find. And then back then, I loved to draw. Well, not draw, but I would design hospitals, but there wasn't a great, and I couldn't even do that anymore. I couldn't sit and watch a TV program. Oh, is that going to help you in later life? And so I lived with that for 5 years, and then everything. Oh well, you've got to keep. You got to keep things going, and well then, I don't know, 20 years ago, and we're speeding it up a bit. Oh God, my nose. Dr. Wallace decided, well, that I was brittle. And all my doctors since then have come to the conclusion that I have brittle diabetes. And, yesterday kind of showed that. And when I say kind of, I don't necessarily mean iffy. I meant I didn't go that high, but I did drop, and I had a couple lows. Yesterday morning, I got up, I went and did what I had to do, and then I came back, did a blood sugar, and I don't know, it was 2.2 or 2.3. Okay. So I went and did my program of starting with different sugars. I did it. I drank. I know people are going to be rolling over because I got it from my care nurse that I had some Coke. And then I waited and I had some Coke and I tested again. I really should have gone to some other sugar, but that seemed to bring me up. Now, your doctor may have told you, to come up or do something else. Now, trust me, I have gone through my life saying, well, what am I doing? What am I doing to make me have these blood sugars? And like I equated to, I've thought back, well, did I do this? Am I taking too much insulin? Which reminds me, I've got to set my pump down. And nowadays, pumps have made it, or pumps, glucometers, there's a number of ways that you're able to keep records. Now, for years, and I don't think it's in my doctor's office, but they had an AccuCheck station, I guess you call it, where you take your things and it would print off your blood sugars and, stuff you did with it. But now, that was before computers, and now you can take a look on your computer. That's something I've got to do and send it able for my doctors to take a look at it. I gotta go through and find. I know September 25th is when I have a doctor's appointment. One of my almost last. And then it's Dr. Shu. Last time I spoke to Dr. Shu, I guess I was being silly. Well, when I mean silly, I don't mean... I was being silly in the sense that I think I was having a low. And sometimes when I'm having a low, I may think I'm thinking correctly, but it isn't always the case. So, people say, well, if you're having a low, why don't you just eat sugar? Or when you're starting to feel funny. Well, I don't feel funny. People say, some people are able to tell me when I'm low. Or starting to go low. I've never seen it, never heard of it. So, but people say that I'm doing that. Now, if I was able to sort of bottle that. But yesterday I dropped a couple of times. Later in the day I had another one. Another low. And so all day it was this. And in 2014, when I got out of the hospital, I stayed out of the hospital for a good 2 years. Then 2016 came around, and I started to have a few low blood sugars, and well, now with Mom moving back in, it's all going to be, oh no, you have so many proteins, you have so many, and she hasn't lived the life in a while. And my dad's the exact same way. When talking with my mom, and basically, oh yes, all you did was eat. The Christmas dinners you went at, But she's going back to when I was first diagnosed, and that diabetics had a certain meal, like you had to have a fruit and you had to have certain meat, and each meat exchange equal to 1 ounce of meat, and for dinner you could have 4, for lunch you could have 2 or something. Well, it was the calories, and that's how it was done. And then they went into, I've talked about this before, meal choices or food choices. And for a while there, if you wanted Fruit Loops, the choices were on there. Now, that doesn't mean the Diabetic Association. Back then, I think now it's Diabetes Canada or something, ever really did something. So now we've got into counted carbs, which is the best. But sometimes, and this is lately, I don't I get lax on the traditional ways. I do the blood sugars, but not every meal do I have to take insulin because it could drop it. And so during the summer, and this summer was different, I got to sit sort of every night out in the cul-de-sac with all sort of the dogs of the neighborhood and dog owners, and we'd been sitting out there. And, we've it's been nice. I don't know what we're going to do for the winter, but right now. And Nico gets to play with the dogs. And, it's just sort of a way to get rid and voice our opinions. And so, we're all good. So, what do we do? And I've tried a couple of times. Oh, sorry. Get back to, in this group, there's another diabetic, and I know he's always saying, "Oh no, well you can't have that," and the old joke is, well, I'm a type 1, I can, and he's a type 2, and I hear him a lot of time spouting, what we're kind of taught right away, the traditional diabetes, not rant, but talk and what the doctors say to you. But that doesn't always work for me. And sometimes every morning I get up. I just got up and got dressed and took Nico out and started my chant. When I go back, I'll do my blood sugar. I'll count for my meal. But you see, I guess in reality, I kind of know I've got to do my blood sugar before I go out. So I don't know if the ups and downs are equated to sort of my answer to, the lows and the highs, and what to do about things, and every so often I keep thinking about if we get back to the simpler things. Now I have carb settings and everything, and it's not much insulin at all. And I keep thinking, well, if I follow it, things can work. And I've been staying out of the hospital since getting out in the beginning of June. And, I pretty well stayed out. But whatever reason sends me back with the flu or severe lows, then I'm stuck in there for a while. And this time it was 3 months. And I'm sure Fraser Health just hates it when they see my name coming up on the patient list. But just gotta get my keys out. We just do. Sorry, done. So maybe we'll follow the traditional rules and see if things fall into place. I just feel that maybe. So I'll go up. I'll do my blood sugar. And then I guess I'll talk to you at noon. Because I bet my blood sugar is probably around 12 to 13. Or 12 to 14, I mean. That's going to be roughly where my blood sugar is going to sit. So I'll do my blood sugar, let you know, and then we'll start the day. And tomorrow, before, we get in, we will discuss things. How did it go? But, every morning we all start off with great things in mind. So, I'll be back in a moment. Well, I ended up getting 4.3 units for 60 grams of carbs. Anyway, have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.